everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I'm Sue of Bendnstretch with Sue. In today's video, I'll be taking you through a chair yoga practice. Now you might be wondering, why would you want to do yoga in a chair? Well, perhaps you find yourself seated for an extended period of time at your desk, not necessarily having the time or the space to unroll your yoga mat for a regular practice. Perhaps you find yourself with some sort of physical injury that limits your mobility at this time. Or perhaps you do find yourself with more restrictive physical abilities, and staying in a chair allows you to practice more safely, but yet gives you the benefits of movement that comes from a yoga practice. So let's get started. First of all, as you sit in a chair, it's important to have one that allows you to have a really tall, well-balanced alignment. You will want to have the feet on the floor and bringing your knees in alignment with your hips. Now, if you find that is impossible, you have difficulty reaching the floor, you might want to put a cushion or some sort of support, maybe some books underneath your feet, just to elevate those knees enough so that you are comfortably aligned. Also, having a few yoga blocks nearby, such as these, will help with your reach in some of the folding exercises, or even they could be used underneath your feet. So let's get started. Sitting tall, you can turn the palms upward, letting the backs of your hands rest over your thighs. Sitting with the eyes closed allows you some time to just observe what's going on the inside and really become attuned to what is going on within the body, within the mind. You're able to start to slow things down as you may find your mind bombarded with thoughts, and notice your breathing. It's a great way to center. Feel your breath being drawn through both nostrils, all the way into your abdomen, expanding through those ribs, the chest, and exhaling as everything draws back in toward your spine, relaxing your facial features, relaxing your jaw, your shoulders, your arms. Now, as you relax the arms at your sides, you can keep the eyes closed if you like, or you can open them up as you inhale and float the arms out wide, bringing the palms together and exhaling to bring the hands to your heart center. So let's take a couple more breaths just like that, giving yourself the opportunity to stretch and open up the body, allowing that oxygen to start to flow with more ease throughout the body. Breathing in and out through the nostrils if you can. Now this time, as we bring the arms up overhead, we'll keep the right arm extended as we bring the left arm across the body, gently leaning into the side and tipping over as you keep your right rib cage lifted high. With a good hold on the right leg with your left hand, you may add a little tiny bit of twisting by looking up to your right elbow. As you unwind and reach up on your inhale with the left arm, you can repeat that same stretch to the other side, taking the right hand across and beginning to lean up and over to the right side. And again, taking your gaze here towards your right elbow, lifting and lengthening through your waist, softening the jaw, the face, and release as you unwind. Bring the right hand to meet the left, looking up and exhaling to bring the hands to the heart center. So from here, let's move forward in our chair. And again, maintaining that same alignment, but in this manner, giving yourself a little bit more space where we're going to warm the spine a little bit more. So opening through the chest as you create a little bit of arching here in the back, breathing in fully through the front of the body and breathing out as you round into the back, drawing the belly button to the spine and that whole abdominal wall as you tuck in. Breathing in to open up and breathing out to round and tuck. So continue to articulate through your spine this way. Think about the movement starting right at the very tip of your tailbone and moving all the way up through the spine to your cervical spine. Linking this with your breath feels good. It's soothing and calming to your nervous system. And the next inhale brings you up nice and tall, rolling the shoulders down. And while you're here, you can add in some shoulder rolls, which is really, really soothing to the upper back, especially if you have been seated for quite an extended period of time. This feels good. You can let the shoulders relax down as you open through the chest and let your left ear drop toward the left shoulder. You can deepen this by reaching through the heel of your right hand, breathing into the right side of your neck and your shoulder, and then gently release it as you bring the head back up and repeat to the other side. Same thing here, pressing away, opening up through that left shoulder. Breathe into that space and bring it back to the center again. Taking the hands over the knees or the thighs, breathe in, open through the chest, and begin to round through the trunk here. So right where your trunk inserts into the hip area, you are creating that rounded motion. It is really warming to that tissue in the midsection, lubricating to the lower back, getting the blood flow in that area. Because when you're seated for a long period of time, you may find that gets really stiff in this area and it can become achy. Now as you inhale and come back to the center, take a pause long enough to reset, lengthen again, breathe in, and then breathe out, move in the other direction. So nice and smooth, well-rounded. And at any time, you may find that you've got enough movement and you can go back to work, or you can stick with me right through to the end of the practice as we make these stretches a little deeper, a little bit more length in the body, more opportunity to circulate that oxygen around and really get the blood flowing. As we inhale the next time, come on back up to that tall, neutral position. Taking the inhale, bring the arms up, look up. And as you exhale, taking the left hand again across the body and bringing your right arm behind you. Now you can bring it over the back of the chair, or if your chair is quite tall, you might just rest the hand beside your hip to allow yourself to turn. So we really want to open through the chest here as we look back behind. Try not to let your back shoulder creep up on you. Keep your chin fairly level, maybe a teeny tiny little bit of a tuck inward. And then release it, inhale back to the center and slide the shoulders down as you exhale. Take another inhale, reaching up. As you exhale, take the right arm across to the left side, left arm goes behind you, positioned to take you into your twist, gazing past that back shoulder, keeping the chin level or slightly tucked. Once again, pressing firmly into both of the sit bones, breathing easy, smiling, and unwinding as you come back to the middle. So as you pause here, we're going to open up into the inner legs. So we're going to take those feet wider apart. This feels good to the hips. And as you position your feet apart this way, if you do have some books or blocks that you can use, you bring them in more centered place. You will want to make sure that your knees and your toes are pointed in the same direction. You want to stay nice and long here. And as you keep the abdomen supporting your back, so you want to keep your back neutral, we're going to begin to tip forward. So depending on your reach, it can be really handy to have something here for you to lean into. Now you could keep the forearms, elbows onto your thighs if that was easy. And if you've got more flexibility, some of you may be quite comfortable bringing the hands or maybe just staying on the fingertips as you bow forward. Now continue to pry your knees open here, reaching your head forward. You'll feel a really good stretch in those inner thighs, reaching the head away from the tailbone and reaching the tailbone away from the head. Take another breath here. Maybe you're able to get a little bit deeper or not. So you just listen to your body and stay where you need to. Keep pressing those knees open. And as you make your way back up again, we'll reset and bring the legs back into alignment with the hips. So from here, let's come back to sitting tall. Now you can stay away from the back of the chair so that you're not using the chair to keep you supported, but rather you're activating the muscles to do it. And we'll just extend the right leg out in front. And as you reach through, actually this is my left leg, but we're going to do both so you can do one and then do the other. Reach through your heel, pull the toes towards you, and then bend your knee as you bring your foot back down, and then switch to the other side. I'm used to mirroring in the classroom, so I often get my right side, my left side totally confused. But eventually you do want to make sure that both sides get the same sort of treatment so that you don't end up lopsided. So from here, let's take the knees apart once again. Now we're going to sit toward the front of the chair. You're going to turn the right leg away from you. So you're moving to bring your knee and your ankle in alignment. So you've got a nice 90-degree angle. Again, you could have your foot elevated here. You will have your knee and hip in alignment. So you may feel already a good stretch in your inner thigh, and then extending out. So position your feet. You might have to lift yourself up a little bit on the chair, opening up that back foot. I'm just going to move these blocks out of the way so that you can see more clearly. But aligning your back foot so the toes are pointed straight ahead. So you get a really good stretch through the outside of that ankle. Great stretch in the inner thighs on both legs. And from here you can lean into that front leg. You could take the other arm, your left arm up, and you could bring it alongside your ear as well to create a really nice long line from your ankle right up through the fingertips. So this would be a side angle position in a mat practice. So we're recreating the same position here. And this would be Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Gazing past your right fingertips, bringing your left hand down on the left leg, turning your right palm up, and sliding the fingertips down the leg to create a reverse warrior, or a sun warrior, as you reach up and over. So breathe and hold, and this can allow you to hold the position longer because of the extra support that you get from the chair and maintaining a really good stretch while you're here. As you release it and bring your legs back into alignment and body aligning with the legs, sit tall. Take a moment to really absorb what's gone on here. And when you're ready, we're going to balance that out and do the other side. So opening up the left leg. Again, you're going to sit fairly close to the edge of your chair. You're going to maintain a really good bend in your front or in your left knee. You're going to adjust that back foot and allow yourself to stack your shoulders over top of your hips. So from here, we'll take that left forearm, place it comfortably on the thigh, and extend up with your right arm. Now this is great for those who struggle with balance when they're standing. It's also a really good prenatal way to practice also, because as the belly grows, the baby's growing, balance might be somewhat compromised, so there might not be the same amount of stability. So having access to doing a practice like this can be quite beneficial. So remember, the toes on your right foot are pointed straight ahead. You want to feel the stretch in the ankle. As you bring yourself back to your warrior two, you're going to adjust your shoulders, bringing them over top of your hips, gazing past that front hand to reach through, so the left hand in this case, trying to keep the chin level. And as you turn that palm upward, the right hand comes down the back or the side of the right leg, and then reaching up and over for your reverse warrior, sun warrior, pressing that left knee open toward the baby toe. So try not to let it collapse inward. So even though you've got some support, some help from the chair, you still want to build some strength in those legs. And as you bring it back to the center, we'll reposition the legs to come into alignment with our hips, stacking shoulders over top of the hips. And coming back to where you can sit and pause for a few moments, really letting yourself absorb those stretches. So we have stretched through the front body, back body. We've stretched inner legs, inner thighs, outer thighs, gotten into the hips. So we're going to get a little bit more into the outer thighs now and the glutes by crossing the left leg on top of the right one. Now, as you squeeze the legs together, you are going to create a really nice stretch through the outer thighs and hips. Now, for some, you may even be able to kind of wind your right foot and tuck it behind your, that would be your left leg, sorry, tuck it in behind your right ankle, remaining really tall. Let's reach the arms up, inhaling to open up, looking up. So with the right arm above the left one, squeezing those elbows together, continuing to squeeze the inner legs together as well. See if you can lift up the elbows a little bit higher, sliding the shoulder blades down the back. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, hinging and tipping over top of your thighs. Now you may be able to get those forearms, elbows all the way down to the legs, or not quite. So whatever works, whatever is available to you. This really gives the shoulders, the upper back, a great stretch all the way into the mid-back even. So those back ribs are going to feel the stretch. So take a breath here into that back body. And then as you exhale, release. Take one more breath. A little bit more downward pressure on your exhales. And then the next time that you inhale, coming up, unwinding the arms, unwinding the legs, and taking a great big stretch, looking up to the hands. Breathe in, and as you exhale, back down into a forward fold. So a little compression. You can even let yourself rest here, body over top of your thighs, letting the head draw down toward the tops of your feet. And then inhale to flatten the back. So you can have your hands on your shins or your feet, wherever you are able to get that flattened back. And then take a big inhale, keeping the back flat as you sweep the arms upward, bring the palms together, and exhale to bring the hands to your heart center. From here, we'll cross the right leg over top of the left one. So once again, you want to make sure you've got a good squeeze. Perhaps you're able to wind that right foot, this time behind your left leg. Stay nice and tall, open through the arms, breathing in to bring the left arm in front first, winding the right one underneath as you attempt to wind those palms toward each other. Now, depending on the flexibility, you may need to just rest the backs of your hands together, or you can even just have your hands on the shoulders as well as an option. Lifting up the elbows. The important thing here is to keep the elbows together, whichever option works best for you. So take a breath in, lift those elbows up a little higher, let the shoulders slide down the back a little bit more. Take one more full breath, resting through the back as you let the shoulder blades move down towards your lower back. And once again, exploring a tipping of bringing some compression of elbows, forearms resting on your thighs, with a little bit more downward pressure each time. Breathing, maybe even letting the forehead rest right over top of the hands. Letting that third eye chakra rest over the thumbs. And then as you carefully unwind, take a big breath in, unwind the arms, unwind the legs. Breathing in to reach up, look up, and breathing out to take a bow and bring yourself to fold over top of the legs. Let your head draw down once again. So this is a great inversion. Lets the blood flow into the head, the face. And as you bring the hands back to the legs, this time we're going to unroll and stack the spine over top of the legs, coming back to sitting really nice and tall. So from here, we can bring ourselves back to leaning into the back of the chair, but still staying tall and elevated. Once again, you can turn the palms up as you close the eyes. Give yourself a few moments here to pause, breathing in fully, breathing out completely, in through the nose, out through the nose. As you relax and just feel the effects of your practice, you can let your breath get a little bit more shallow. Feeling good with the time that you've invested so well during this practice. So let's bring it to conclusion as we scoop the arms wide open, bring the palms together, let them land at your heart, and namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed, and do be sure to give me your comments down below. Let me know how you enjoyed it, any requests that you have for further videos, and don't forget to give me one of these if you liked it as well. Hit that subscribe button with the notification bell so that you'll know when I upload new content, and you can check it out and check me out in the next video. Namaste.